I'm going to tell you exactly why your business is invisible online right now. And I'm not talking about your logo. I'm not talking about your colors. I'm talking about the fact that 97% of the people looking for what you do right now, today, are starting on Google, and 72% of them are checking your social media before they ever pick up the phone. And I'm willing to bet your profile looks like it hasn't been touched in months. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why that's happening, what it's costing you, real numbers, and I'm going to give you the system that takes a service business from invisible to getting booked consistently in 30 days. Not theory, not tips and tricks, the actual system, website traffic, warm leads, people who are ready to pay you. I've personally audited over 50 service businesses in the last year. Pressure washers, plumbers, HVAC companies, electricians, landscapers, restaurants, even law firms, and every single one of them had the same core problem. They were losing money because nobody could find them online, and that number is usually somewhere between $3,000 and $15,000 a month in revenue that's just walking out the door to a competitor. So here's what we're going to cover. First, I'm going to show you why this is actually a visibility problem and not a marketing problem, because those are two very different things. Second, I'll walk you through the 3 money leaks that are draining your business right now: your website, your content, and your lead response time. Third, we're going to look at a real audit, a real business, so you can see exactly what broken looks like versus what fixed looks like. And then I'm going to break down the system, the 3 pieces that have to work together for any of this to matter. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the first thing I need you to understand, and this is important. Your business does not have a marketing problem, it has a visibility problem, and those two things are not the same. Let me explain what I mean. A marketing problem is when people can see you, but they're not buying. That's a messaging problem. That's a pricing problem. That's a conversion problem. We can fix that. A visibility problem is different. A visibility problem means nobody even knows you exist. They're searching for what you do. Right now, someone in your city is Googling HVAC repair near me, or best pressure washer in Houston, or catering for corporate events, and your name doesn't come up at all, or it comes up on page 3, which is the same thing as not coming up at all because nobody scrolls to page 3. And here's where it gets worse. It's not just Google. 72% of consumers, that's almost 3 out of 4, are checking your social media or your website before they call you. They want to see your work. They want to see how active you are. They want to see reviews. They want to see that you're a real functioning business that other people trust. So think about what that means. If your last Instagram post was 3 months ago, or your website still has your old phone number on it, or your Google profile says you're closed on Tuesdays when you're not, that person is gone. They didn't call you. They didn't give you a chance to explain. They just moved on to the next business that looked alive, and here's what this actually cost you. I ran the numbers across the businesses I've audited, and the average service business is losing between $5,000 and $15,000 a month because of this, per month. Not because they're bad at what they do. Most of them are incredible at what they do, but because nobody can find them to hire them. Let me say that again. You could be the best HVAC tech in your city, the best caterer, the best attorney, and it doesn't matter if nobody can find you online. Your competitor who posts 4 times a week and has 50 Google reviews, they're getting the calls, not because they're better, because they're visible. But here's the thing that almost nobody talks about. It's not that you're invisible to the right people. Is that you're actively invisible because of 3 specific gaps in your online presence. I call them the 3 money leaks. And once you understand what they are, you'll see exactly where your revenue is going. The 3 leaks I'm about to show you are probably costing you thousands right now. But the good news, once you plug them, most of the work is done. Let me break it down. All right, let me break down the 3 places where your visibility is leaking money. And I want you to be honest with yourself as I go through these, because most business owners I talk to have at least 2 out of 3. Leak number 1 is your website. And I know you've heard this before. Get a better website. But hear me out, because the data is wild. 68% of people judge your business based on your website design, not your reviews, not your pricing. Your website, if someone lands on your site and it looks like it was built in 2018, it loads slow, it's not mobile friendly, there's no way to book, no photos of your recent work, they're gone. They didn't even read your about page. They hit the back button and called the next person on Google. And I see this all the time. Business owners who are phenomenal at what they do, but their website loads in 6 seconds. That's an eternity online. Google says if your site takes more than 3 seconds to load, you lose 53% of your visitors, gone before they even see your name. The cost? If you're a service business doing decent volume, a broken or outdated website is costing you somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000 a month in leads you never get. Not leads you lose, leads that never even happen because people bounce before they saw anything. Leak number 2 is your content. And when I say content, I don't mean you need to become a YouTuber or start doing TikTok dances. I mean, are you showing up anywhere online between the time someone hears about you and the time they decide to call? Because here's what's happening. Your competitor is posting. Maybe not a lot, but they're posting something. A before/after photo, a quick video of a finished job, a reel showing their process. And every time they post, they're staying in people's feeds. They're building familiarity. They're building trust. You posted once in March, maybe twice in February. Your social media looks like a ghost town. And when that potential customer checks you out, which 72% of them will, they see nothing. No recent work, no proof you're active, no reason to trust you. Content is the only thing that compounds. A video you post today can still be generating leads 6 months from now. But if you're not posting, you're giving those leads to whoever is. And that usually costs a service business somewhere between $2,000 and $8,000 a month in organic leads you just never get. Let me ask you something. Right now, how many leads are you losing because of these first two things? If your website hasn't been updated this year and you haven't posted in 2 weeks, the answer is probably more than you think. Leak number 3 is your lead response time. And this one is brutal because you might actually be getting leads, they're coming in, but you're losing them because you're too slow. The data on this is crystal clear. The average service business takes 8 to 24 hours to respond to a lead. 8 to 24 hours. But here's the thing. Leads that convert, they get a response in under 5 minutes. Not 5 hours, 5 minutes. Think about what happens. Someone fills out your form at 11 a.m. You're on a job. You're busy. You don't check your phone until 3 p.m. By the time you call back, they've already talked to 3 other businesses. Their mind is made. You're not the first call anymore. You're the last resort. And the math on this is ugly. If you're losing even 1 lead a week because you responded too slow, and most businesses are losing more than 1, that's 40 to 60% of your pipeline walking away. Not because they didn't want you, because someone else answered first. So those are the 3 leaks: website, content, lead response. And I could sit here and tell you to go fix them yourself, but I'd rather show you what fixing them actually looks like. Let me walk you through a real audit. I'm going to walk you through an actual audit from a real service business that came to us. And I'm showing you this because I don't want you to just understand the theory. I want you to see the before and after, what broken actually looks like and what happens when you fix it. So this was a home service business. I'm not going to name them, but I'll give you the numbers because the numbers tell the whole story. When they came to us, they were getting about 2 leads a month. 2. And they've been in business for over 5 years, good at what they do. Repeat customers love them, but 2 new leads a month, that's not sustainable. So we ran the full audit. 5 things we check: Google business profile, website, social media, lead response time, and reviews. Here's what we found. Their website hadn't been updated in 3 years. Page load speed, 8.3 seconds. That's brutal. Anything over 3 seconds and you're losing people. It wasn't mobile friendly, which is a huge problem because over 60% of searches happen on phones. Next up, their Google business profile. 0 reviews. And it was missing 14 critical details. Hours weren't right. Service area wasn't set. No photos of recent work. When someone Googled their service in their city, they showed up on page 2. Basically invisible. The social media, 0 posts. No Instagram, no Facebook, no TikTok, no nothing. Their entire online presence was a website that loaded in 8 seconds and a Google profile with no reviews. That's it. That's all a customer had to go on. And when they did get a lead, maybe through a referral, their average response time was 18 hours. 18 hours. By then, the customer had already hired someone else. Now, here's what happened in 30 days, and I want you to watch these numbers because this is what the system does. First, we fixed the website. New build, fast. We got the load speed down to 2.1 seconds. Mobile first design, clear booking button, portfolio of their work, lead capture form that auto responds. Second, we optimized their Google profile, filled in every detail, uploaded photos, and we started a review collection system, automated text after every job with a direct link to leave a Google review. In 30 days, they went from 0 to 23 reviews. Third, content. We started posting for them, 2 reels a week showing their work, before and afters. Quick tips, nothing fancy, just consistent. And fourth, we set up automated lead response. When a lead came in, they got an instant text with available times. Response time went from 18 hours to 8 minutes. The result? Month 2, they got 18 leads. Remember, they were at 2. They went from 2 leads a month to 18. Same business, same service area, same prices, different visibility. Now, when I tell people this story, the first thing they say is, Daisha, I don't have time for all of that. And I get it. You're running a business. You're doing the actual work. You don't have time to build websites and create content and set up automations. That's exactly why we built the system. And I don't mean we built a course or here's a checklist. I mean we built the actual machine that does this for you. Let me show you how it works. Here's the reality. These 3 leaks don't exist because you're lazy. They don't exist because you're incompetent. They exist because you're trying to do everything alone with the wrong tools on top of running a business. So let me show you what it looks like when someone else handles this for you. The first piece is your digital home. That's your website and your Google business profile. Think of this as your conversion hub. Every piece of content you create, every post, every video, every ad, everything points back here. If this isn't right, nothing else works. What does right look like? A website that loads fast, that looks modern on a phone, that shows your work, that has a way to book you in 30 seconds, that has your reviews visible, that answers the 3 questions every customer asks. What do you do? How much does it cost? And how do I hire you? We build these for $97 a month. That's not a template. It's a custom build for your business. Free setup. Live in about a week. Booking calendar built in. Lead capture forms that auto respond. And you don't have to touch it. We handle the updates. Now, $97 a month for a website is almost nothing. But I'm not even going to push that right now because there's a more important piece that comes first. The second piece is your content engine. And this is the one that changes everything. This is the piece I want you to pay attention to. Here's the problem with content for most business owners. You know you need to post. You know content matters, but you don't have time to be on camera. You don't have time to write scripts. You don't have time to edit videos. You don't know what to say. And even when you do post something, it feels random. No strategy, no consistency, no plan. So what we do is different. We build an AI clone of you, your face, your voice, your brand, and we use that clone to create content that looks like you showed up on camera, but you didn't. You didn't touch a camera. You didn't record anything. You sent us a photo of your finished work, and AI did the rest. We write the scripts from your business, your services, your expertise, your market. We produce the videos. We schedule them to your platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever your customers are. And we track what's working. The result is consistent content that builds visibility, builds trust, and drives calls without you spending a single hour on camera. Third piece is the automations. This is the closer. Content gets them to find you. Your website gets them to engage. But the automations close the deal. When a lead comes in, they get an instant response. Text, email, whatever. Available times, booking link. The whole thing happens in seconds, not hours. And then behind that, there's a nurture system, follow-ups, review requests after the job, referral asks, remarketing to old customers. All of it running automatically. This is $200 a month, and it's the piece that turns leads into booked jobs while you're still on the last one. Now here's why this works as a system and not just 3 separate tools. Content drives people to your website. Your website captures their information. Automations follow up instantly and book the job. After the job, the system asks for a review. More reviews means higher Google ranking. Higher ranking means more traffic. More traffic means more content views. And the whole thing compounds. It's a flywheel. Once it starts spinning, every month is better than the last. So here's what I want you to do. Don't try to build all of this at once. Don't overthink it. Start with the content. Here's why. Content is the piece that makes everything else work. Without content, nobody finds your website. Without content, nobody knows you exist. Without content, you're back to waiting by the phone hoping someone refers you. So we built a way for you to try this with zero risk. 14 days, 6 AI videos of you, your face, your voice, your business, scheduled to your platforms, free. No credit card, no obligation. If you love it, great. If not, you keep the videos. They're yours regardless. The link is in the description below, or you can comment content and we'll reach out to you directly. And if you're sitting there thinking, this sounds too good to be true, I get it. I would too. That's why we do the trial. Because once you see your own face delivering content that you didn't record and you see the views start coming in and your phone starts ringing from people who saw your videos, you won't need me to convince you. The results do that. If you found value in this, do me a favor. Share it with another business owner who's invisible online right now. They probably don't even know they're invisible. You'd be doing them a real favor. I'll see you in the next one.